Okay.
It's not a changeable.
All right, I'd like to call to order the special meeting of the St. Mary's County Board of Education for Tuesday, June 14th, 2016. First item is a move into executive session.
I move we enter into executive session for the purpose of personnel collective bargaining under Maryland Local Government Code, Article Section 9-512A, numbers 1 and 2.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We'll see you back shortly.
Sorry, I left my reading glasses back there.
Yeah, I was just gonna about ready to give you.
I'd like to reconvene, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And with that, may I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I move approval of the agenda as presented.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? First up, only up, is our action item, Dr. Walker.
Good afternoon, Dr. Walker.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Pleasure to
the
see
Board of
you.
Education.
Good afternoon, Dr. Walker.
I am pleased to be here to seek your approval today of the negotiated agreements for the Education Association of St. Mary's County and the Collective Education Association of St. Mary's County. The ratification process is complete. Both employee groups have overwhelmingly ratified the tentative agreements. Therefore, we come to you today for your consideration of the agreements. To review, where's my tool here? To review the timeline, we started negotiating back in November, met periodically but regularly all through the winter and spring. As budget came close and we saw the final budget agreements, we realized we needed to go back to renegotiate because funding from the commissioners didn't support our initial agreement. We did that in May and June, and on June 8th reached a second tentative agreement based on approved budgets. The ratification process has been undertaken since last week, and again today we're seeking approval. Just a quick comment on the teams that represented each group during negotiations. I've negotiated for about 15 years on both sides of the table. And I can tell you that these three groups of people are as good and as great an advocate as you can find for their respective groups and for the system. They have open minds, they're good listeners, willingness to consider alternatives. That doesn't mean everybody agreed all the time. There was certainly plenty of disagreement across the table, but in the end, we reached agreements that everybody felt were fair to employees and to the system, and in fact, are outstanding for both employees and the school system. We have excellent leadership among our employee groups, and it's important that we acknowledge that, particularly on a day like today. Highlights of the agreements, just to cover a few things. It is a 4-year agreement with no openers. So as you read through the agreement, you will see several study groups and opportunities for us to meet and kind of work on issues that we know are problems right now that need to be fixed. But at no time during these next 4 years is there a clause that allows us to open the contract to renegotiate something that's already there. So we're fortunate to have that opportunity ahead of us to focus on students and children and the work of our schools The salary scales for both SEASMIC and EASMIC have been restructured. Generally speaking, across the board, there's higher starting and ending salaries, standard percentages between ranges and steps. So, for example, the EASMIC scale has 20 steps. Each step is 2.5%. There's a 2.5% distance between each step. SEASMIC has 3% increase between steps, but is only a 15-year scale. So each met the needs of each group, and again supported increasing salaries, particularly for the lowest paid employees on the SEASMIC scale, but across the board as well. There are no longer plateaus or frozen steps on our scales. An example on the SEASMIC scale in particular, there was from year 10 to year 20, there's no step. Even though we might pay steps to our employees, SEASMIC people in that range got no salary increase. We've eliminated all those plateaus or frozen areas in the salary scale. Steps are lettered and not numbered, so they do not correspond to length of service. We negotiate steps in our agreement. As you note in this agreement, we've negotiated steps as well. For 2017, fiscal year 2017, employees will be placed on the new scale at the appropriate step and range with a salary higher than their ending fiscal year 2016 salary. So those employees might see a small increase to an increase up to about 2.5%, depending on where their current salary is and where the next step, the appropriate step on the new scale falls. That's just part of the messiness of moving to a new scale, is that in that first year you have to find a way to get there, and we've agreed together how to find a way to get there for the long-term benefit of our employees in the system. And finally, on this screen for the highlights, we did renegotiate a one-time payment to employees in December of 2016. Full-time employees will receive $750, and part-time employees will receive $375. These are for employees who were hired after March 1st of last year, which is our standard date for implementing changes for the following contract year, fiscal year. So, additional highlights, just so you can see how it plays out over the 4 years. Again, July 1, 2016, we placed on the new scale with no extra step. July 1, 2017, July 1, 2018, and July 1, 2019, we've negotiated one step on the salary scale for each year. In addition, on July 1st, 2019, we'll also advance the salary scales by 2%. We also have some health insurance changes that support sustainability in that area. Health insurance costs are increasing substantially, and we were fortunate to have some opportunities to work with our employee groups to bring down some of those costs. We are implementing Formulary 2 prescription coverage on January 1st, 2017. This is the only health care change that takes effect in fiscal year 2017. During renegotiations, we deferred any change in health care, with the exception of this, to fiscal year 2018. So physician emergency room and prescription copay changes begin in year 2. That's fiscal year 2018. We also introduced 2 new higher deductible plans in year 2 that provide lower total premium options and choices for employees. And we phase in adjustments to employee health insurance premium contributions in years 2 and 3, fiscal year 2018 and 2019. So employees do pay a percentage more of the premium for insurance depending on the plan they select. It may not change if they choose a different plan. So there's options, and it definitely supports the system in an important way. Allowed us to get to the salary scales this year. A couple of other items. We did agree that 90 minutes of time will be provided between the first day of work for 10-month employees and September 30th to complete required online compliance trainings. We have 4, 5, 6 different online trainings that have to be completed during the workday or on time outside the workday. But we've agreed to designate 90 minutes, which is approximately how long those trainings take to complete online. We added support for paternity leave along with maternity leave, including leave for adoption, make that equitable for fathers and mothers. Clarified that documents allowed to be included as artifacts in the online performance assessment system, which was an important concern of our associations, and a fair one, which is why we came, I think, to a good resolution on that. And in year 2, we will begin implementing some wellness incentives, so employees have an opportunity to earn money on a benefit card for steps they take to support their health and wellness. So again, I'm here today to request your approval of the fiscal year 2017 through 2020 negotiated agreements between the Education Association of St. Mary's County and the Board of Education of St. Mary's County and the Collective Education Association of St. Mary's County and the Board of Education of St. Mary's County. Questions?
Mrs. Weaver?
No questions. Thank you so much for all your hard work between all the groups.
I don't have any questions, but I would also like to congratulate and thank both our staff and the staffs from the 2 associations who went through quite a bit to get to this point.
Mrs. Washington, I'll finish up.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
I want to thank Dr. Walker, Mrs. Leskinen, Chief Negotiators, for collaborating effectively with the teams to develop an agreement which is fiscally responsible, fiscally sustainable, and sensitive to the needs of our employee groups. Thank you very much.
Mrs. Allen?
I certainly echo that. A number of the things that everyone has come to agreement on are items that have concerned board members for a very long time, stretching back a number of years. And the fact that the members of the various committees negotiating were able to come to agreement and come to this point is, in my mind, incredibly historic, because it is something we've been trying for a long time. And I recently was talking with someone who used to be a part of this, and he expressed really, and I know he talked with Ms. Leskinen, really expressed his delight truly in the fact that this is where we had managed to arrive. So it's been a long time coming, and I'm really appreciative that we're able to get here. And so thank you all very much for everything you've put into this, because it isn't easy to have those heartfelt conversations, to disagree, but to do so in a way that is respectful and not being disagreeable. And clearly that's where these groups have come to. So thank you. Appreciate it. And very much support this.
Do you have anything to say?
I said a whole bunch of words earlier. I've been saying them for the last month. I can't believe that we're here. It really is historic. It really has been something that we've all sought. We all really want to have easily understood and fair salary scales and a framework for people to know where they're going to be for the next several years, because that's what you all deserve. That's what our people deserve. We're a great school system because we've got great people working here with our kids, and so these are both 2 agreements that really say something about how much the Board of Education values the work of all of our employees on behalf of kids. So it's just a very great day.
I will be at MABE for the next 3 days for meetings. I have a feeling there will be a lot of conversations with my colleagues across the state over how did you do this.
Great people.
So, very much so.
That's
very
all.
much so.
Just great people.
I would just like to thank everyone on the negotiating teams. I know there were a lot of long hours, even after I ran into Liz in the parking lot on Friday. I know everyone was here until 1 o'clock in the morning, finalizing things, and that was just last week. And then they were still going to school to teach and to their jobs or
whichever they may be, not just teachers, afterward. I do feel bad that we were kind of sidelined with our budget funding by some random estimate on a spreadsheet somewhere. But I would like to thank everyone within CSMIC and ESMIC for the commitment that you've shown to the school system and to the teachers and the staff and the students going forward. With coming back to the negotiating table with an open mind, and I think everyone had the thought process is, there was so much time invested in this, how can we salvage it and get it done? And it very much was a cooperative effort. It was not, just on one side or the other, and everyone came with an open mind. I would like to thank all the CSMIC and ESMIC people that came to all of the budget meetings, not just on our part, but also over the county commissioners, and sat through that somewhat painful process at times. I'm truly sorry that, that we didn't get everything that we needed, but we got enough. So, and I know Mr. Smith and I had countless meetings with numerous county commissioners at different times, and I know they never wanted to see my name on their cell phone or an email from me, but we really did try. So thank you very much for, for renegotiating this contract and getting us to where we are today. And I will have to send a brief shout out to Mrs. McCourt, even though she's not here.
Yes.
The women in the finance department were truly amazing in all of the budget reiterations that they did, and as quickly as they turned them around for us. So with that, my heartfelt thanks to you, and it truly shows the commitment and the partnership that as a parent I am truly experiencing. Not saying it wasn't there before, but it's very much in the forefront right now from what I see. So thank you very much. So, okay, with that, anyone else? Any last words? All right, then may I have a motion, please, for this action item?
I move that the Board of Education approve the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the fiscal year 2017 through fiscal year 2020 negotiated agreements between the Education Association of St. Mary's County, ESMIC, and the Board of Education of St. Mary's County and the Collective Education Association of St. Mary's County, CSMIC, and the Board of Education of St. Mary's County.
I have one correction to that, do I? Because it is not the same on board docs as what it is on
Correct.
Okay.
the item. So
Do you want me to read
How
it?
about
need
if
you-
we
I
withdraw
could
that motion?
Withdraw that motion.
And
Do
I'll
I have-
read it
Right.
from
So
We're just so close. I'd really like to.
I know. So, okay,
Get it
so
right
hold on,
and
everyone. All right, so I don't have a second. Right, I know,
Correct.
sorry. So I don't have a second to that motion, but I do need an item to withdraw the motion that was just presented from someone at this table.
I moved that we withdraw the item as presented.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, now, may I have a motion for this action item?
that the Board of Education approve the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the fiscal year 2017 negotiated agreements between the Education Association of St. Mary's County, ESMIC, and the Board of Education of St. Mary's County and the Collective Education Association of St. Mary's County, CSMIC, and the Board of Education of St. Mary's County.
Perfect. Now, do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. Okay, so we will sign, and then I have to come back to gavel out. So don't everyone get all excited and go for cake and not let me bang that gavel.
It's really nice out there.
There really isn't cake, it's just a...
All right, get ready to sign.
Don't all rush to the table at once.
We need to have either not put the recommended action up there or have it mirror exactly what's on there, because it's really messing stuff
Right,
up.
this is our living document. So
I know.
I had to go by that.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Yay.
Back here, Anna. You can slide through back there. Take note of the space there.
All right, what are we doing, Scott? You're Mr. Organization.
Well, so let's have a board chair in the middle. Let's have Liz Leskinen off to the side. Let's have a Scott Smith here. Let's have a Mary Washington there. Let's have a chief negotiator here. And then we're gonna have to go through and just do 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Right? So, let's get Liz.
They need your reputation.
Have you here? Yeah, no, okay. I was waiting for my glasses on, sorry.
You know what?
Bum, bum.
If we flank across the back, then
Going out.
that,
Going to teams.
and I thought,
And then each one's numbers then.
and then, right, but I thought there was one other. For the last, we need Mr. Law at the table.
There you go.
Mr. Law, we need to switch without Mrs. Washington. You get a special seat, because Mr. Law is supposed to sign this. Pardon me? No,
Each one of the negotiators.
but Mr. Walker, Mr. Farrell, Mr. Law, Ms. McCourt.
Yeah, no. You're gonna have to swap out with Mr. Law, 'cause Mr. Law has to sign. I assume the vice chair signed.
Dale's back here.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't, yeah, you don't.
No, I don't need to be in there. I can move up and sign later.
It's more for the pictures, Mr. Law.
Yeah.
And, sorry.
So we'll just get everybody to sign. You know, because everybody's, we signed all 4 copies, then we'll put the next group in.
Okay. Would you like me to sign these?
Yes. Yeah, well.
Then we'll have the next group sit down and do the signing. All right.
I'm swung over as extra because other people
Yes.
have to sign.
Now, next group in to sign. All the members.
Don, you're gonna sign Mr. Farrell's, he signed as he was supposed to. I have to sign that one too? Oh, wait, no. This is easy. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. One worry at a time, right?
I saw my name so many times.
Sign here. Sign here.
Karen?
Yes, Karen, me?
Karen Meyer. I have signed already. All the copies? Because there's,
Yeah, we do it.
Yeah.
Not Friday.
Exactly right.
Trudy's not here. Sorry. But she can.
Yeah, long.
Yeah. She knows where to find Dr. Walker. Yeah, that's, she's the keeper. Yeah, because we need to get this reports also, so.
Yeah.
Okay, it will. Correct. You're gonna stand at the end and sign as they go. Remember that. You were going out an amazing show.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what everything's done.
This has been a discussion. See how much it's almost is. So
terrible shadows, we look like, you know. It's not bad. Watch your area, watch your area.
He should step up. Yeah, everyone take a step forward. Step in here.
There you go, the whole thing. Make sure it's perfect. It's got to last 4 years.
Oh, yeah. Sandra, did you approve those? I know you won't make us ladies
Yes.
look like crap.
Oh, that's depressing to think. We all.
Got to be official. Order in the court.
Order in the court.
Just give me 2 seconds. All right, Scott, he knows when the next board meeting is. Okay, so with that, the next board meeting will be Wednesday, June 29th at 6 p.m. And with that, we are adjourned. 2:57.
All right, yay.
Now that bag, I can get a little lighter.